Growing up, I remember my mom buying us those frozen chicken pot pies, and I thought they were just okay until I started making my own homemade. Today, I'm going to show you how to make these delicious chicken pot pies. I'm Rose Oatley. Let's get cooking. First up, you'll need some chicken. I love using chicken breast tenders for their convenience. Just take each tender, cut it in half lengthwise, and then chop them into small bite-sized pieces. Next, grab half of a medium onion and dice it up. The onion adds a wonderful depth of flavor to our filling. Just make sure those pieces are nice and small so they cook evenly and blend beautifully with our chicken. Now let's elevate that flavor even more by mincing 2 garlic cloves. Garlic is a must for adding that aromatic punch to our pot pie. Next, I have an 8-ounce package of portobello mushrooms. These will add a rich, earthy flavor to our dish. I'll slice them up and cut them in half for a nice texture. Grab a Dutch oven or a large pot and add about 2 tablespoons of oil. Once it's nice and hot, toss in your chicken. Season it generously with salt and pepper and about 1 teaspoon of garlic powder for that extra flavor kick. Let's brown the chicken, then we'll set it aside on a plate while we prepare the rest of our filling. Now to the same pot, add another 2 tablespoons of oil along with half a stick of butter. Once that's melted, toss in your diced onions and saute for about a minute until they're nice and translucent. Next, add the sliced mushrooms and saute for a couple of minutes until they're nice and tender. Then stir in the minced garlic and mix for just a few seconds to release those amazing aromas. Now to thicken our filling, I'm adding 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. We'll mix this for a couple of minutes to cook off that raw flour taste. Next, I'm adding 1 tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of rosemary, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon. This is optional but really boosts the flavor. And finally, half a teaspoon of paprika for a subtle warmth. Mix everything together and then slowly pour in 2 cups of chicken broth, giving it a good stir. Time to bring back our chicken and mix it in. To make it creamy and rich, we're adding 2 cups of heavy cream, which is the same as heavy whipping cream. Turn the heat down to about a number 3 and then stir in a 16-ounce bag of frozen peas and carrots. At this point, we want to season with salt and pepper to your taste. Mix it all up and let it simmer. Cover the pot and cook on low for 10 minutes. While our filling simmers, let's focus on the crust. Start by dusting a little flour on your countertop. For convenience, I'm using Pillsbury crust. Each box comes with 2 sheets. Today, I'll be making 4 individual chicken pot pies, so I'll need 2 boxes of crust. If you're using a standard pie dish, 1 box will do. Using a rolling pin, you want to roll your sheet out. Since I'm going for those small individual sizes, I want to roll it slightly bigger, then cut each sheet in half. Here are the bows I'm using. I'll post a link in the description if you're interested. Lay half of 1 crust over each bow and gently push it down. Just a heads up, if you have long nails, it's sometimes easier to use your knuckles to avoid tearing the dough. Now using kitchen shears, I'm trimming the excess crust around the edges. Make sure to push the sides down nicely, and don't forget you'll need a top layer once we fill these bows, so keep that second crust sheet handy. Once your filling is ready, it's time to fill your bows or your pie dish. The filling looks divine. Now we can add the top layer. Just like before, trim the edges and press them down to seal everything in. All right, now to make it a little more fun, I'm using this little flower-shaped punch to cut out a flower from the leftover dough I had. We'll place that right in the center of our pot pie for a cute touch. Make sure you make a few slits around it so the steam can escape while it bakes. Then brush some egg wash on top, which I forgot to do accidentally. Place your chicken pot pies on a sheet pan. I'm making 3 now and another one later. Now we're going to pop these into a preheated oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 218 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes or until your crust is done. Just a tip, check back in 15 minutes and loosely add some foil to prevent them from burning, although placing the aluminum foil around the edges is preferred. Then continue cooking. Our pies are ready. Let's take a look. You can garnish with a sprinkle of parsley if you'd like. I'm removing my parsley since the flour alone I think looks best. Now let's break into one to see that delicious filling. So creamy. These homemade chicken pot pies are so much more delicious than your store-bought ones. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more delicious recipes. Happy cooking!